Hey, what's up, fam? I don't know. My Hero Academia, like right now, this chapter 220. So we're going in a direction I actually am very interested in. So this chapter, I thought was a fine chapter, not bad, not great, but I think it has a lot of potential, and it's kind of like what I talked about with the big nose guy, who I don't think has been given an official villain name yet, or anti-hero, hero name, whatever he resides and aligns with. Like these last couple chapters from My Academia, there's definitely been a lot of potential being set up. Definitely some interesting things being opened and placed. There was one thing I was actually really curious about with this chapter, and I feel like sometimes when you think of like why would a character do this, that it there can always have just like oh yeah they didn't do this thing that would make more sense because it's a story whatever like I don't know. I don't have an example off the top of my head, but obviously I think you'd be able to really think about it when I give it in a second. But I like this cover of this chapter when it had Bad Touch come by and touch like the logo and break it, and I like the fact that it was called My Villain Academia. But you have them like encounter these this like group who I guess they're their version of the KKK, but they're against pretty much mutant style people with quirks. So anybody who's like animal like, so like Froppy and stuff would be hated by these guys, but the League of Villains walks in, kills all these guys and takes what they can that would be valuable and then goes about it. What I'm really curious about that I got confused about. So it shows after it you had this really cool opening when you have these villains raiding another bad guy group and killing and taking and you see that they're clearly down on money and you see their base and they're like in this this broken down building and it really reminds me of the building that what was it the Brotherhood of Mutants was in the X-Men TV show, how they were kind of all like in the shitty house when it was like what was it, Toad, Blob, Quicksilver. I don't remember who else there. Those are obviously just the normal ones. Before like Magneto and Scarlet Witch showed up and like people actually like brought them away from just being like pretty much like a street gang with superpowers. But I was really curious, like these guys are living in squabble. Why didn't they just take why didn't they just take that cult space? Like they lived in a mansion. It looked really nice. Like their whole building looked like it was like of high quality. So like I mean obviously I'm not gonna be like they should sell the house and make hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean I'm wondering why they don't just move their base there, because it had to have been at least out of place enough that these guys could be there. This cult bad guy group. So I'm wondering why they just didn't take it over. That was like my. What's funny is that was legitimately my largest takeaway from this chapter because it was just such a like a it was such a like a logic point of like maybe they're waiting specifically for someone, but the whole bit at the end is when Giganto shows up. He says he was looking for them, so it wasn't obviously it wasn't that he was just kind of walking to get there. Like clearly he had to search to find them. I don't know. It's such a question mark place because now that whole building is just going to be full of dead people and it's going to rot and it's going to lose all value. Why didn't you guys just move in? Why don't you guys just move in? But you just see them all chatting and talking, and Cremation shows up. I really like Cremation. I think he's pretty cool. And then they're talking to Bad Touch and wondering. I've been wondering when Bad Touch is really going to kind of move into a spot as like a big villain because he doesn't feel like he'll be the arch enemy for Deku eventually. Like I don't know, he just doesn't give off that feeling. Obviously, I think that's the point because obviously he's being trained up as like a villain the same way that Deku is being trained up as a hero. But I don't know. I don't see it yet for him. Maybe this will be the point of because I was correct in my last video for My Hero Academia that Giganto is pretty much going to run a training camp on these guys because when he finally shows up after Spinner's like off rambling about Stain, you just see Giganto just kind of like rip part of the building and just like go in and be like, "All right, guys, let me see exactly what you're gonna do." Actually, it looks more like he comes out of the ground now that I relook at it. I thought the whole time that he like lifted up the building, but I think I think he was like straight digging. But he's just trying to go in it and he's like in tears because of how weak they are and you get like from the boombox around his neck or radio. Or, actually, yeah, that is a radio, not a boombox. That he's the doctor guy, All for One's personal doctor, is talking to them. So, like I said, definitely an interesting setup. Like stuff that I want to see go down. I want to see like the villains, like and what they're obviously doing, how their training and planning is going. And it's definitely going to be cool to see now this guy going against, because obviously Deku's going to have to fight Giganto eventually. And this guy's strength is definitely beyond what Deku's is capable at right now. So it's going to be really cool just to see, a second round of high power, like straight physical impressiveness. That's not a word. Physical prowess characters, just swap blows on each other. So definitely looking forward to the next couple chapters because I do want to see like I want to see these guys get trained, get worked on by this guy, and just for to see his side of things of his dedication to All for One and how he just wants them to be better. So like because it looks like he maybe he has some form of maybe religious kind of view on All for One. I don't know. It's a little bit weird on that, but I don't know. I didn't think it was a lot to talk about this chapter. It felt more like a really nice setup. Like I know it's not important, but I'm so hung up on like why they didn't take that mansion base. I don't know. Other than that, tell me in the comment section below what you think about this. I'm definitely hoping that we stay on the villains for like 2 or 3 chapters and see them get trained. Other than that, drop a comment below on what you thought about this, and if I can get you to hit the thumbs up button, befriend the like button and the subscribe button and check out my videos. Other than that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.